Welcome back to How This Mom Does It, and today I'm going to be sharing with you our curriculum choices for the 2021-2022 school year. And this will be for my 6th grader and for my 3rd grader. I had to think about that. A lot of our materials will be used together, but a couple subjects will be separate, like math and language arts. But I thought it'd be easier just to do one long video. It'll be a little long, so sorry, but you'll get to see everything this way. And a lot of the things, even though they're separate for their grade, they do a similar thing, so it just is easier to show it together. So I'm going to go ahead and get started and start over here on the right with our art. And I think I have most of it divided up. It was a lot of stuff to put out, so some of it may be kind of random, but up here in the top corner, I've got paint and painting, so books that teach about techniques and the history of art tools and that kind of thing. So we're going to be going through that. I have the Usborne famous artist sticker book, which we've already started. We've actually already started school. We've been doing school for a couple weeks, so we've already been using most of this, so I can kind of at least give you an idea of our impressions so far, even though we haven't gone through all of it. We're really enjoying the things that we've chosen, so that's good. But so the famous artist sticker book, we have the Usborne art activity book, and then the Usborne how art works, and they do all of that together. So I make them read the stuff together to each other in front of me, excuse me, and then they do the projects or pages together and share. So they each have their own activity book, but they share the sticker book and they share the how the art works book, and they discuss. So that is art. And there is art and crafts and projects and just about everything else we do, but that is more like art history, famous artists, that kind of thing. Up at the top, I've got our Skill Sharpener Geography book, and that replaced, we used to do map, charts, and globes. We couldn't get it this year, so we're doing the Skill Sharpener Geography books by Evan Moore. And I really like it. They're color, they've got crafts in it, some different things. They have them for both grade levels. I try and get books that you can do with both kids, but at their levels. Excuse me. That works really well for us. So, yeah, so we're really enjoying that so far. Both of my kids really like those. In history this year with our Book Shark, which I'll go over in just a second, we're going to be covering Eastern countries, Eastern Hemisphere. And so I have some of the highlights, top secret mystery packets for different countries that are from that area. And we're going to be doing some of those. And that's what those little packets are up in the top corner. Has like a little book about the country and a puzzle that they solve, that kind of thing. Also for geography, I've got the Leagues and Legends. And that's more for my 3rd grader. So we'll go through that. It basically teaches geography in like a story format, which is kind of fun, and we've done that before, so we're going to do that again. We've got the Draw the World book, where they learn how to draw the world from scratch. We've already started that, and sorry for the shaky hand here. There we go. We really like it so far. So we've gone through, I think, about half the book in a couple days. It doesn't take very long. At least for us, so we may have to, I've decided to kind of slow that down a little bit because we were going through it really quickly, but they both really enjoyed it, learning how to draw the world from scratch, so that's been kind of fun. Up in the top over here, we've got the Usborne outdoor book, and then the Story of Inventions, so we're going through some different, I like to add in different books that cover different topics that you wouldn't normally cover or just kind of gloss over, in normal curriculum. So I always try and find some interesting things that my kids are interested in and add those in as well. So usually with those types of books, like the Story of Inventions and outdoor book, they'll read together, taking turns, which is good because it helps them read out loud in front of people so they don't get as nervous. So that's how we do that. For my 3rd grader, he is really into engineering and building, so I got him the Architecture for Kids book as a special book for him to work through this year, and it talks about different topics in architecture and gives them projects to work on, so I thought that would be kind of fun for him. We also have, I really like the Usborne books that teach about things, the Usborne books of understanding. So we're doing philosophy, money, and economics, and they have led to some really good conversations in our family. So We read it together. They take turns looking at the pictures and reading out loud, and then we discuss. Let's see. And then down here is some math. So for math, I don't really have their math curriculum out too much because a lot of it's on the computer or in our binders, which is kind of hard to show. But they're both doing teaching textbooks, and they're both doing Math Mammoth. We do both curriculum. We just kind of slow it down a little bit with Math Mammoth. They do like a lesson a day in teaching textbooks, but they do like a page or two a day in Math Mammoth. So we go through it a little slower. So that's that. But we also add in Life of Fred because we really enjoy that. And we finished cats already this year, and we're doing dogs right now. And we will just continue on with that. They enjoy it. They do it together. So it's a little easy for her, but it's some learning for him. And I like that she can kind of mentor him. They do it together and work through it. So it teaches her to help teach, which reinforces the concept, and then it helps him get the concepts as well. So they do that together, and they both love it. You can hear them in there giggling and laughing while they're doing it. So it's math that they actually enjoy, which is nice. For my 6th grader, she does This Is Not My Math book, and then the fractions and decimals Usborne book is her fun math. I call it fun math. These are my quote fingers. Fun math. So those are her fun math that she gets to do. And my 3rd grader is doing the Usborne times tables practice pad this year, and the Telling the Time activity book, and then he's got a Telling the Time wipe clean book as well. Then we've got our Bible and character study this year. We're doing the Route 66, a trip through the 66 books of the Bible, and they are doing that with Grandma. She's actually teaching them via Zoom, which is kind of fun. And then and they have their own little activity books that they work through with that. And then we are doing the Hobbit devotional together. Pretty fun. We really are enjoying this. Lots of good conversations. So that's something that we've added in. Up at the top now, we're kind of moving into science, I think, over here, how I laid it out. We are doing science in the ancient world. We started that last year and we didn't finish. It's a pretty big book, and we do about one lesson a week. It's just kind of gives the history of science. And we were doing ancients last year in Story of the World. So it kind of went along with that, and we're just kind of going to continue on with it. We enjoy the book. It's not our main science curriculum. But it gives a lot of interesting things that you don't hear in normal science books. So we're continuing on with that. And then part of my 6th graders science, we're doing Book Shark science this year for both my 3rd grader and my 6th grader. They're doing it at their level. So I think it's level F. I believe it's level F for my 6th grader. So she's doing level F Book Shark science, and hers includes this lyrical science. And we do that together, even with my 3rd grader, because it's pretty fun. We play the CD, and it's got basically teaching life science with songs, and it's pretty fun. So we do that together. And then her science she does separately. So she's got the food and nutrition, survival skills. Hers is a human body and like life science this year. So she's learning about human body, genes and DNA. She's got blood and guts, care and keeping of you, and the boys' body book is included. And that's her science this year. And then my 3rd grader is doing, I think it's level C, and his came with a little science kit, and he's got the Usborne Book of Knowledge. And he does this little science activity book, and it comes with a DVD with the science experiments and a guy who gets on there and demonstrates them. So if you don't want to do an experiment, you can watch it, which is kind of nice. But we found that we were doing actually most of them. They're pretty easy. Some of the stuff comes in that little kit. A lot of the stuff you have to have at home, but it's stuff you would typically have. So that's been kind of fun, and he's been enjoying that, watching the video and doing the little experiments. And then I have him have a little composition book where he documents it's like his little science notebook, and he keeps track of what he's learned and writes down what the experiment is and his conclusions and that kind of stuff. So that's what he's been doing. And then we also add in a couple extra things for science. They do the Christian Liberty Nature Reader. I have these through, I can't even remember what level, but he is on book 3. She's kind of grown out of that at this point, but he'll be continuing to go through those. I really like that set of books. It gives some really interesting information, and it's a good extra reader. I had these and I wanted to kind of finish going through them. So it says second grade, but he's going through them really quickly. He'll be done probably in the next month with both of them. So I've got the Abeka Health, Safety, and Manners, and then the, I think this is BJU. Yes. BJU Science 2, and he really likes that. So it's just kind of a little fun extra science. And then I have a health and safety coloring book for both of them that we'll work through. And then let's see what else. Oh, we're doing the Good and the Beautiful's nature notebook. We're going to do like a little nature study. This is Good and the Beautiful. It's actually pretty cool. I'm not going to do a lot of flip throughs because this is a lot of stuff, but it's kind of a book they can go throughout the year, and it has like fall, winter, spring, that kind of thing. So we're going to go out and do some nature study this year. I've been wanting to do that. And then this is just a fun extra book I added in. You shine your flashlight on it and it gives you extra information about the topic. So that's kind of fun. And then I think the last science thing I have out here is our Dr. Bonafide books. They're still finishing up book 1, but this is book 2 for this year. They have like a couple pages left to finish up at book 1. It's a set where they learn about the human body, and they do it in a fun way. And there's puzzles and games, and even like little glasses where you can look through and see things that are hidden and all kinds of stuff. So they really enjoy doing that. They do that together. So if he has problems, she can help him, and they read through it together. I try and have them do a lot of stuff together because I like them working together in a team. Okay, so now we are on to, I think, history. Okay, so in the back, we've got the Story of the World. So this year we're going to be doing like a co-op for Story of the World, where we're going to be learning about the Middle Ages this year. We're in volume 2. So you can see back there is our Story of the World. We do listen to it on CD, basically. So we'll listen to that and then do the projects and stuff like that. So that'll be fun. And then back in the back also, I've got the famous figures Renaissance. That's the little bendable characters that you can make for the different historical figures from the time period. So we'll have that to work through as well. And then I also have classical conversations history cards, the classical acts and facts. And we don't do classical conversations, but I do like the cards. So we'll go through those as we're studying the medieval time period. So that's the extra history we've got. And then our main history, we also are doing, and I'll go over a list. Let me stop real quick before I forget. So some things that are not shown before I get into Bookshark. We're going to be doing Zaner Bloser handwriting, spelling workout, Wordly Wise, daily 6 writing. And those are things that I get from our charter school, and I haven't put those out yet. So those will be for both kids, basically. And then we're also using Time for Learning, which we love. And that also has Time for Math Facts, which is really good games and stuff for teaching math facts. So I recommend that. It's really cool. We're also using Reading Eggs Press and Math Seeds, Studies Weekly Science and Social Studies. We watch the videos online and do the online tests and sometimes the papers. And then I already talked about Math Mammoth and teaching textbooks. Where we're using those, but they're not out here to see. We're also using my third grader is using starfall.com for some extra reinforcement. And then also we're using the typing instructor and Brain Pop. Brain Pop I incorporate into our Bookshark, which I'm going to show you in a second. And when we do our current events, because level F of Bookshark is really different than all the other levels. I've done Bookshark for years. And it incorporates a notebook this year and doing current events and projects. And so it's actually really cool. And I found I like to incorporate the Brain Pop videos along with YouTube videos and using those for our current events. So that's been really handy and a tip if you're using Bookshark. And then we're also doing the fallacy detective. So that kind of goes along with our philosophy in that area, but I only got the fallacy detective on Audible. So I don't have a physical copy to show you, but they are loving it. So I'm thinking about getting the other book that goes with it and maybe even the workbook, but we're really enjoying that. So those are the things that are not shown. So Bookshark. So I'm going to go, because there's a lot. So I'm not going to go over every book, but we are doing level F of Bookshark together as our history. So that is our main base of our history, in addition to Story of the World, kind of doing both. But our reading and our literature is all from basically Bookshark. So you can kind of see, I'm going to try and get up here. It's a lot. So you can kind of see back here, it comes with a China kit. I only bought one kit for both kids to share, but I did buy that extra up here calligraphy set because they do calligraphy, I guess, this year. And then it did come with origami set over here. And I just went ahead and purchased a second one on Amazon. So that saved some money. But you can see all of our books. Now this also includes Language Arts F and Language Arts, I can't remember. I think it's level 3. So my son is level 3. My daughter is level F. It's a little weird how they do their numbering and lettering and everything. But so he's doing a level F history all together. We're all doing all together, but they're each doing their own individual language arts. So she's doing Language Arts F and he is doing Language Arts 3, if that makes sense. It's a little confusing. So they each have their own timeline book and their own history notebook that they're going through, which is pretty cool. This is, the other one is in the back, and I'm not going to go get it, but you can see here, there's his level 3. But in these binders is their individual stuff. So I just pull it out and I put it in a monthly binder, and it makes it a lot easier than lugging these things around. So I pull it out per month, everything that they do during that month, and then that way I don't have to carry those around. So those are a bunch of the history books and their literature books that they're reading this year. And let's see what else. So in the front, I have a couple, so I always add in extras. I think you can kind of tell I always add in something a little extra. We're also going through the 365 words that everyone should know. I realized that my son's comprehension vocabulary was a little lacking, so we wanted to focus on learning more words this year. We're also doing how to eat a poem, and Bookshark does a really good job of adding in poetry, which I love that about Bookshark. And they have all the small poems and 14 more. I'm not as big of a fan of that one so far, but I will add in extra poetry. I'll show you in a second, and comprehension. They're each doing together My Year of Writing, where every day they write a little something, and they each have one of those. Together, we're doing the Secrets of Storytelling, and we really like that book. It kind of gives them ideas of how to come up with stories and how to tell a story and that type of thing. And then we're going through the English grammar workbook. I realized there are some things that we've missed with both of them, so I wanted to kind of make sure we caught all the grammar things that we could have missed through the years. So they're each doing this together. And then the rest of it is pretty separate. So, we do, my 6th grader is doing Grammar Ace, and they use Schoolhouse Rock DVDs with it, and I really like that. So my 3rd grader watches the Schoolhouse Rock DVDs, but he doesn't do the paperwork. So it's just kind of an extra fun thing that we watch together. He also enjoys watching the cover story. So my 6th grader, one of her, so she's doing the Bookshark Language Arts F, but she's also doing cover story for writing in addition to that. And it's basically teaching them in a really fun way how to write a story, how to make a magazine. And it's pretty fun. The guy teaches all on DVD, and they're really entertaining. So my 3rd grader will sit and watch those videos as well. He doesn't do the work, but he likes to watch the videos, and anything you could learn from a DVD sounds great, you know. So if he can pick up some grammar and some writing tips from a fun DVD, then I'm all for that. So they do that together, and then she does the writing piece of it. I've got this Usborne book, Write and Design Your Own Magazines, and that kind of goes along with the cover story since they're doing a magazine. So they read this together and work through it together because I thought it would be good for both of them. And up at the top, they each have test prep, reading skills, and a poetry comprehension book. I really like those poetry comprehension books. I found those this year, and excuse me, we are loving it. So I really like, they give a good quality poem, and they have to do an assessment on it and really think about it. And then they have some kind of a grammar practice that goes along with it as well that incorporates into it. So I really like that. And then he's working through his Wordly Wise 2 book until he gets to his 3. He's got a couple pages left from last year, so we're finishing that up. I found these online, and I got one just to take a look at and try. I wanted to try and incorporate some classics into my third graders' curriculum. So found these, and it basically is a book, and it's got the story and questions all in one. So I thought, well, if we have extra time, we might get to that. And then his extra writing, so she is doing, my sixth grader is doing cover story. He is doing the essentials in writing this year, and I'm loving that. So the guy teaches on a DVD. I'm loving the DVDs. Can you tell us here? He teaches it on DVD, and then he goes, and then my son will go through and do the work. So we're really enjoying that. And I also have grammar minutes and math minutes, which is like a daily review. And that's how we usually count down the first 100 days of school, because it's only 100 minutes. So that's a fun way to count down the 100 days of school. And I think that is it. I feel like I probably missed something because it's a lot, but that is the majority of it. That is what we were doing for the 2021-2022 school year. I hope you enjoyed this video. I will do another video on all of our back to school first day of school goodies and like the little extras. So stay tuned for that video, and I will see you next time.